Mr. Dave here. Hey, I want to talk about some of the stuff out there in the faux rock category. So you go online, you search faux rock, and you'll find all kinds of crazy things. And I found this video that's got a whole bunch of views, and so I wanted to kind of go over it with you. Let's check it out. Okay, as you can see, it says how to build an artificial stone waterfall from scratch, part 1. So let's get this thing started. Let's go over and see what this guy thinks is pretty cool. It looks pretty good at the beginning. This is like the beginning of the video. It's sort of interesting. The color is kind of flat. You can see liner down the bottom here, my little pointer arrow. A lot of plant material, which always makes stuff look really awesome. It's right up against the chain link fence, which is a challenge if you ever need to get behind there and do any work to make any repairs. And so this is the beginning part of it, and it's running. It looks okay. So I'll move forward a little bit here. Nighttime shot. So he kind of gets it, teases us with a little bit of the look of it. This is how it starts off. We got the GFCI plug in the back, as you can see there, and that is a good thing because you're going to need to be able to power up your project. And we see it's basically dirt. And they used rubber liner. This went underneath the entire thing, which is kind of cool. Any water leaks that go into a rubber liner that has a bowl effect to it will always go down to the center, and if that's where your pump is, it'll be recycled. The narrator builder describes, though, that this one is a little short, as you can see here in the back here. It doesn't go all the way up to the fence and even up the hill. And that's the point he's making with this little circle. So I'll move over here. So it's a few minute video, but he lays 2x4s on there as brackets. Well, wood rots and fades away. So I'm just telling you, you use wood and it won't last in the long term. It's nice for a little while, it gets things started, but it's just not gonna work long term. Any water that got on top of this thing right here, the liner, would pool up around the wood and rot it out really quick. So it would not have longevity. He decided to use plywood and 2x4s and 1x3s, it looks like, to build the skeletal aspect of the infrastructure. Okay, he does a good job in the video of showing the materials and stuff. But this is where it gets kind of interesting here. That is a wire mesh. It looks like a 1/2-inch screen, and that's just simply placed over the wood and bent around. And there's a little bit of the plumbing. It goes from a 2-inch to a 3-inch to a 4-inch. So there's a reducer going on here. So that's good. He shares that in the video here and explains how he's putting them in here. But notice this is just metal kind of mesh going over wood. It's just wood. So when you just have wood in there, all of it is going to decay. It just can't last. So I'm moving forward and skipping forward on it. Big sheets of big panels here. You can see he's got Portland cement. Again, he shows the tools very nicely, mixing it up in a bucket. You add sand with that. 3-to-1 is a good ratio, but this is where it really gets to be pretty crazy. He then gets landscape fabric, which is a weed barrier basically, and I've used those in the beginning of my career, trying to use as a backing, but all of the stuff that I put in goes behind the metal. You want to encase, check this out, look at this. You want to encase all the metal to give the mortar mix, the concrete. If you're going to use concrete, you get a better PSI, but a mortar mix here, that's just mesh underneath. You got to get it steel reinforced concrete means steel's inside the concrete. Okay guys, it's inside the concrete. This is just it's like paper mache, just using cement. Now it does the job, it gets it done, but the shape is kind of weird, but it naturally makes these weird shapes. Again, it's like paper mache. After that, he put foam on there with the extruded out of a can, and then made roots, he called them, which is interesting. And he made like a big stalactite or a bone. Not exactly sure what these are. But again, this is one way of doing it. So now he's just putting a mortar mix over it, and that's my good old mixer. Those things are great value. I think they've changed hands. It was Emar was the manufacturer. Now it's Ryobi, at least the ones at Home Depot. So he goes ahead and he gets the mix going, pours it in a tub and a wheelbarrow, and he's just slopping it and plopping it on there. Fiberglass fibers are great. You can put those in by hand. They're called fiber mesh There's one brand that I used to have. I got them back from a concrete company, and then Stealth Fibers, if they're still the same brand name, are the tinier ones. After you're done and you don't like the little fibers sticking out, you can burn them off with a little butane torch, no problem. And so you add that in and you mix it up. Getting the I not use Protect as a cement stucco water repellent. Repellent is not the same as a waterproofer, but maybe it does a pretty good job. And so you can use different products, and I've got a lot of that on my website and on my newsletters, particularly very detailed. Talks about how to mix this stuff up, which I do appreciate. That's great. It's sort of a weird looking, creaturey, blobby, whatever. I mean, nature gives us all different kinds of textures and colors and forms. Yeah, just sort of stalactites, like a cavey thing. Pipes sort of sticking out. You got the liner underneath. So this stuff, if it has a surface that's sealed, it'll get in the pond basin with the liner and hopefully hold it steady. Interesting little sweeping cracks that are sort of not really that authentic. Okay, but you get done with it and it's looking better. He's kind of carved, painted the roots by hand. He's mentioning something about the way the weir works, making the water come off evenly across. You just have to use a level. The question I would have is, why not put, if you're just putting this metal mesh on and then paper mache, basically fabrics with cement on it, you might as well put a liner underneath everything, so all the water that's inside this whole area and coming over it would just, if it went through any cracks in this paper mache kind of approach, at least that would drive it into the pond basin where the pump is, the submersible pump. So that's, he's got a little pump, mentions this little pump, very tiny, very, but it's enough. You could see from the look of the video that it looks pretty good. So anyway, thought I'd just go over this. More than one way to skin a cat, as they say. Does it look natural? Well, when you get all the plants wrapped around it, it's pretty cool. And the edges of these things are not a perfectly glass wall or sheet, which a lot of clients for some reason really like. And that's what I do. But I like to try to make it a little more irregular, so the shape is a little unusual. Now you finish it up by adding in plants, and it is really a nice effect. We'll get it running here and you'll see how the video is finishing out. Nice time. It took some time to plan it out real nice, and it might have lasted for quite a while. But out here, when you have a freeze-thaw situation, these things do not last. They crack, they leak, and you gotta do these things the right way. Just a little overview of some of the stuff you have here online. So yeah, how to build it. There it is. So all his links. So all right, guys, have any questions, let me know. But just going over some of the stuffs out there, just want to kind of do a review of what else is happening in the faux rock world out there, and some of the do's and don'ts, in my opinion, when it comes to building these things. So have a great day. Check out my Amazon book and the link here, if I put it in there. I think I'll try to put it in there. And it's a paperback, so you actually have pages. And at the end of this video, I'll show you my little blurb on that. So anyways, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe, send any questions you have. And also, I've got courses, a lot of free stuff. Also, going to have those links in there in the description. So have a great day. Thanks for checking out my stuff. And I hope you have an awesome day no matter what. All right, Mr. D, checking out. Have a good one. Bye.